Thanks for sticking with us. And as we come back on the air, a breaking update to news we first brought you on Local 5 at 5. A person has died from a crash involving multiple vehicles in Pleasant Hill this afternoon. Just moments ago, Vice President Kamala Harris is officially becoming the Democratic Party nominee for president. She accepted the honor during the final night of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, making history as the first woman of color to do so. It was arguably the biggest speech of her political career. Harris spoke on her background coming from an immigrant middle-class family to becoming a prosecutor in order to protect others. She also spoke on cutting taxes for the middle class, advancing security at the southern border, and working towards an end to the Israel-Hamas war. Harris emphasized the importance of pushing the country forward and coming together to do so.
Our nation with this election has a precious, fleeting opportunity to move past the bitterness, cynicism, and divisive battles of the past, a chance to chart a new way forward. Not as members of any one party or faction, but as Americans.
And following this week at the DNC, Iowa's Democratic Party chair now has, quote, great faith that there's an opportunity to flip some of the state's congressional districts. Rita Hart said Democrats spent the last 2 years on a grassroots effort to get people registered and ready to vote. Now, she says momentum and energy within the party is coming at the perfect time.
We've got more volunteers that are more excited about our candidates in Christina Bohannon in the 1st District and Lamont Bacam in the 3rd District. We have every chance in the world to pick up one or both of those seats. So we're very much concentrating on that.
Hart says the party has been reflecting on the 2022 election, where Iowa Democrats lost every federal office and all but one of the statewide offices. New tonight, South Dakota's Supreme Court unanimously ruled against Summit Carbon Solutions' controversial carbon pipeline, a victory for landowners. The court said Summit hasn't proven it is a common carrier of carbon dioxide and cannot use eminent domain to survey its proposed pipeline that would have run through 5 states, including Iowa. Without being able to use private property without consent, the court said Summit's path forward is insurmountable. And in an update tonight, a person has died from a crash involving multiple vehicles in Pleasant Hill just this afternoon. That happened shortly before 1 p.m. today on Highway 65 near University Avenue. Authorities say 4 cars were involved in the crash. The person who died has not been identified yet. Several other people had to be pulled from their cars to get medical attention. The crash shut down traffic for multiple hours. There was also a second crash later this afternoon on the I-80 bypass, but there was no word on any injuries at this time. Now, turning over to some health news, the Iowa Department of Health and Human Services has announced the first case of West Nile virus here in Iowa. The man infected was reported to be an older adult, aged 61 to 80 years old. The HHS has ways to help you prevent the possibility of getting the disease. It recommends using insect repellent with DEET, wearing long sleeves, pants, shoes, and socks when you can, as well as clearing standing water from around your home, which is where mosquitoes often lay their eggs as well. Well, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has just accepted the Democratic nomination for vice president during night 3 of the DNC. Early this morning, sources told ABC News that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. could be eyeing a spot working for a future Trump administration. RFK Jr. could abandon his presidential campaign and endorse Trump as early as this week. Ada Hayden Heritage Park is turning 20 this weekend, and the city of Ames plans to celebrate, as they should, of course, right? Developing story tonight, the Wapello County Sheriff's Office has arrested a man listed on the most wanted list of the Iowa Sex Offender Registry. Live Police Department is investigating a bomb threat made towards 2 child care centers yesterday. This is new information we're getting as both centers are back in session. Local 5's Dana Searles brings us the newest details on the investigation.
Looks like a cool setup. For now, we're keeping things tempered for now, but we'll watch that for you too.
And it's nice too, because I just came back from Nashville. It was 90 when I was down there. So the 70s when I came back, I was like, I gotta tell Chris, thank you for that.
So you brought him back from Tennessee for all of us?
I did, but I don't want to take the blame. I don't want to take the blame, so don't get any ideas, Chris.
Well, you can't take the good without the blame.
That's right, yeah. Well, thank you for the forecast, so I appreciate it. A few hours ago, Iowa Hawkeyes head coach Kirk Ferentz addressed the media, confirming the reports of his one-game suspension due to a recruiting violation. Telling me, though, it might heat up, though, in the next couple days, right?
You know, summer's not over yet, according to the calendar. Are you ready for it?
I have to be.
You have
my
to
job,
be.
right?
Yeah, we have to be ready for it. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be kind of nasty. We've got actually a weather impact alert we're going to tell you about.
If you haven't had the opportunity to try now out one of the 3 best finalists for Best Fair Food, you should. I got the opportunity earlier today. I was at the fairgrounds just like Stephanie and Chris. I caught up with Win and Sarah's Kitchen, one of the finalists who have the bacon cheeseburger egg roll. And I learned being at the fair has been a dream of the owners for years.